Awesomeness. So what do we do now, Sanjeev? Are we waiting another couple minutes or are we starting? How are we doing this?
So we can. How about we do an energy pull? Energy pull to begin with, and then start the Zoom call. What do you say? What do you get?
Yeah, awesome, wonderful.
Yeah.
No, but Shweta has to agree. Shweta is the facilitator. What about
I'd be
Shweta?
very happy to do an energy pull. I'm wondering if now's the time to do it, or would you like to tell me what you're asking for? Are we recording it?
Yeah, we are
Okay,
recording.
cool. So welcome guys to the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook. And for all of you who don't know, my name is Shweta Chadda and I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And yes, we are going to be talking about money today. Money, which is one of the most favorite topics, I think. I love money. I don't know about you. Do you guys like money?
Yes, yes.
Of course.
How much do you like
Sure.
money? And how
Yeah.
much do you like money? And how much would you like to have? Is my
I,
question to
I,
you.
I
Before,
don't like money. I am money.
yay! So we know who's done their homework. We know who's done the How to Become Money Workbook. Awesomeness. That was so wonderful, Sahil. Okay. Yes. Ali, right? Hi, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Yes, you can join the Zoom. I believe you're already here if you're typing that message. Right. So welcome, guys. And why why we requested you to do the money workbook was just exhibited by Sahil, because when we begin to talk about money, if we try to do the tools from a point of view where you're not willing to be money, which is where the How to Become Money workbook takes you. It takes you to this place of becoming money from the space of trying to get money or do the right thing to have money in your life, right? So that is one of the reasons when you do it 5 times, you begin to get the idea of what it is to be money. And that is why Gary made it a prerequisite. So for you to be able to join the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook series of calls, where we're going to be reading the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook, we'll be talking about it in depth. So like it has, like if you've seen the How to Become Money Workbook, it has 13 questions with each one having an explanation and talking about the tools and telling you how to move forward with your points of views about money. Is that right? Do you guys all know that?
Yes.
Right? Now, with the Advanced Money Workbook, each chapter, so there are 9 chapters, and each chapter has about 6, 7 questions. Some have 9, 10 questions, some have 11 questions. So each chapter in depth has in itself about 8, 9 questions or 5, 6 questions. Each chapter has different number of questions, which means that we go from the space of now, where the How to Become Money workbook left us, to the space of now, like leaping into this reality, leaping into this future, looking at where we're not willing to be money, what we're not willing to be. And like really, if you have seen the Advanced How to Become Money workbook, I believe I caught someone saying I could not read further, right? And that is what happened with me when I got the How to Become Money workbook, when I just entered Access. So for me, I just pick up all the books that Gary and Dane write, like blindfoldedly. When I read it is another thing. But anytime a new book comes out that Gary and Dane have written, I just pick it up, or Simone has written, because they have gems in them. So with the How to Become Money workbook, I tried doing it with friends, I tried doing it myself, couldn't do it for about almost a year or maybe longer. And it was only when I started, when I finally started facilitating it, that I got to the awareness of how it is the energy that we're really not willing to have money. We're really not willing to receive. However much we say, I'm willing to receive, I want this money, I want this amount, and I want it to show up, and I'm doing everything I can, and where am I being wrong? Anytime you're going into a judgment of money, anytime you're going into a judgment of yourself for doing something or not doing something, you're not being money, right? And if you're not being money, then money can't come to you. So that is the part that you get once you start doing the How to Become Money Workbook. And now to take it forward, and today I'm not only here to tell you about the Advanced Money Workbook. I'm also here to take your questions. And yes, we will do an energy poll at slightly towards the end of the call. Why? I'll tell you why. Because right now we don't even know what you're asking. What are you asking for? What do you know you're asking for? Do you really know you're asking for something? So what would, let me start with this question, and you guys can type your answers here if you like, or just unmute yourself or raise your hand. I don't know how Sanjeev, whatever way works. Um, Let me start with this question of what would you like your future to be like 5 years from now? Do you guys, have you heard this question before? What would you like your life to be like 5 years from now? So what would you like your life to be like 5 years from now? And then push your barriers down. Even if you're not getting any awareness, just please repeat the question with me. Even if you think you don't know the answer, we're not looking for answers. So what would you like your life to be like 5 years from now? What would you like your life to be like 10 years from now? What would I like? Come on, you can frame it as what would I like my life to be 10 years from now? And look at that energy of where would you be 10 years from now? Right? Push your barriers down even further. I hope you know the tool of pushing your barriers down. And if you don't know it, no worries. Just ask your barriers to go down. Even if you're doing it for the first time or you're doing it for the 100th time, ask them to please go down. Thank you. And expand out and ask, hey, if I could create my monetary reality, if I could create my future the way I want, what would I create? And what would my life be like 10 years from now? So, what is showing up? What's showing up for you guys? Anyone want to tell me? Do you have any questions? And what would you like your money reality to be like 5 years from now? And what would you like your new financial reality to be like 10 years from now? Let's just do 5 and 10 right now. So Sanjeev says, where would you be in 10 years from now? Oh, you're writing my questions. You're being my cross. Awesome. I love this. So cool. So guys, does anyone have a question? What is showing up for you right now? Did you get an awareness of
Yeah.
what would your reality be like? Sahil, would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, I have seen my reality that after 9 years, I want to have 25,000 crores, out of my business.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you know how many zeros come in that? Just
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Now, this is the energy of joy and fun where we don't make even that amount significant
No, no.
and begin to ask for it. Now, here's the thing, guys. What we tend to do is we just ask for the money. Now, when I'm asking you, what would you like your life to be like? There are a lot of elements of your life that don't only depend on the money. So, do you have a point of view that when I have this amount of money that you're asking for in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, what is the figure that you said? To 25,000 crores? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay. So, really, truth. Now, look at that. Are you willing to have the kind of life that a person who has that kind of money lives? Truth. Are you willing to be the energy of that life? And honestly, is that a yes or a no?
Yes, I just want to be that energy, and that's the thing. That's it. That consciousness and that energy.
All right. So this is the space where we begin to ask questions, and now's the time to start to get brutally honest with ourselves about, hey, what am I unwilling to be and do? Just for example, that would allow me to have that life, have that money, be that energy that invites money into my life. Because what I was saying just before I went to that figure was that we don't create our lives thinking that the money is going to. How many of you truth have the point of view that when you have the money, you're going to have that life?
I do have. And
Yeah.
when you said that, there was a lot of heaviness and something was very bad in that situation. I was not willing to have that much money.
Yeah, that's honest. And to be honest, most of us are not willing to have that kind of a life, which means we can't have that money too. Because we have so many points of views about money, about what we have to do, about if I have so much money, who am I going to give to? Whom? So there was this call that I was attending with Shannon recently, and Shannon O'Hara, Gary Douglas's daughter, and she's talking about this energy, this thing called gold sickness. Okay. And like I haven't really seen it, but she was talking about this movie called I've seen the movie, but I don't remember this part. It's called it's part of the Hobbit movie, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit series, where it's called the Desolation of Smog, where he gets so much gold. Smog, this guy Smog gets so much gold that he begins to get gold sick. Like the gold is now starts to make him sick in the head because he starts to worry about who's going to try to take it away from him. He won't be able to sleep now properly. How he has to invest, how he has to protect, how everyone's his enemy, and even his relationships start to go haywire. He doesn't trust his friends, he begins to lose them. You see, so and this reality is so wonky around money that we don't even see those subtle little refined points of views that we have. And that's where the How to Become Money workbook starts to show you that you do have points of views about money. So if you tell me that, honestly guys, if you say that yes, I'm asking for that money and it's not showing up, well then what is creating the separation between you becoming that amount of money to you receiving that?
Energy level only.
Your points of views, not your energy level. It's your points of views that are creating that separation between you and that money. Because see, here you are making an ask, and the moment you've made that ask, the universe has energetically fulfilled it. It's that quick. Ask and you receive. But for it to physically actualize in your life, for it to come to you as your home, as your car, or as money in your hands or in your bank account, your receiving has to start to open up, which means your points of views have to go. Because the points of views that you have around money, whether they're positive or negative, whether they're good or bad, they're all judgments. And those are the energies that basically do not allow money to flow into your life at all ease. So what we are going to do is start to open up your receiving. And each time, what if each time you let go of a point of view, not only do 350,000 people get free, what if 350,000 flowed into your account with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Sit down, current bed, current talk, online shows, boys and beyond.
Beyond. How's that? Does that sound light? Does that sound fun?
But there is fear also, Shweta,
Uh,
underneath when you say about receiving such a big amount. You have a
Exactly.
lot of fear also.
Exactly. That's the goal sickness I was talking about. You have fear because what's the point of view that is creating the fear? And is it really yours? You know what fear is, don't you?
Yeah,
It is a distractor and plant, right?
yeah, exactly.
So what is the value of holding on to it when you know? Does a distractor and plant create your life or does it destroy it?
Shweta, you're taking all my doubts and my hanging out points from me, na?
I know, Dipti, you did the money workbook with us, right? Did we still leave
Yeah,
some points of views there?
maybe these are the new ones I'm getting now.
So, you know what? Probably it's not new ones. It's that there we have these because we've lived billions and billions and billions of lifetimes. There are these layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of judgments and refinements. time judgments, and then GQ judgments, which are the secret and hidden ones. We have these secret agendas around money. And then there are people in our lives. We live in a reality that's constantly poisoning us, that's constantly telling us, hey, you're not good enough, you're not competent, you can't have this. Why the hell would you want so much money? And when you have so much money, you have to give tax, you have to do this, people want to take it away from you, you won't be able to sleep, people might try to kill you. So, how many of you have those points of view still? And we don't even know what those points of views are because we don't ask those questions. Right? So the moment we get to asking questions, this whole range of stuff starts to show up. Like Dipti said, you're opening up more stuff. Yes. And isn't that wonderful? Like if you didn't look at it as a judgment of yourself that, oh my God, I didn't let it go then, now, or more have cropped up like these little weeds. What if it was just coming up to clear away now so that you could receive more? Does that make sense? Everything that doesn't allow you guys to. Is somebody asking a question? Was someone saying something?
Yeah, I think somebody was asking a question, but the internet is really bad, so the audio is kind of
Distorted.
yeah, distorted. So can you type in your question? Whoever's asking a question, your audio is getting distorted. So you can type in your question on the Zoom chat. Yeah.
Okay. So is this conversation making sense to you guys? So where else would you like to go? And what I was saying, maybe just change tracks a little. And remind me, Sanjeev, also to talk about changing tracks. Is that we think that we have to do, how many of you think that you have to do something to have that kind of money that you're asking for 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line?
Yeah. I mean, Sandeep ji has very nicely told us that energetically we have to get the 4 times equivalent to that money, whatever we are looking for.
Yeah.
So I have planned around 25 activities every day is to be done.
Wow.
So one
Brilliant.
activity I have given a weightage of 1 lakh rupees. So energetically I am earning 25 lakh rupees every day. So that gives us the confidence, give me a confidence that yes, I have achieved. I'm towards my goal of achieving energetical earnings, and that will reflect in my reality soon.
Awesome. Awesome. So my question was, do you think you have to do something for it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to.
Shweta. You have to do everything. That is the very biggest point of view I still carry with myself.
Okay. So here's a new revelation, guys. What if you could relax into it? Have you ever thought of that? What if you could relax into the money you're asking?
Well, I have a very different point of view here.
Okay.
I have
I'm
this
here
point
for
of
points of views. Go for it. Tell
I
me.
have this point of view that I have to do things to not have money. Money comes easy to me. It's me who has to do all the things to not have it.
Wow. What does that mean? What do you mean when you say that? You don't want to have
These
money in your life?
these days I'm living the energy of the life I would really like to have.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to the receiving of that much money, I get this point of view, agar maine le liya, then I'll not create more. So I do all the things to not have that much of money.
Right. So if you can see that, are you changing it also? Are you saying, cool, no, I won't do this shit. I'll have the money.
That seems very impossible.
Okay, cool. So what is the point of view? So what's your question? If that's impossible, is there a question there?
It's a great confusion.
What's your question?
So my question is how to have the money and the energy. I am living the energy of the life I would like, where people know me and I am having all those gratitude and kind people, and they are offering me that kind of money. However, I feel if I receive that money, was that all the energy would end.
It's like
So what?
I had the point of view when I hadn't had sex that once a guy has sex with me, he's never want to have sex with me again.
Yeah, it's same, and
I
it's
don't know where that point of view comes from, but it's actually the opposite of it. So what if you heard the tool of everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be?
Yes.
And see, this is we're talking energy. We're talking, but if you're living this life, you really can't go and pay in a restaurant or in a great hotel or for an adventure trip or for Disneyland or for the clothes that you wear energetically, can you? Some places you have to pay with actual money. And also, would you be able to? Okay, so did you see today's challenge? Did you see challenge number 5 today that we put up? Is there a way that we can share screen on that, Sanjeev?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just get the screen ready and
I
I'll
don't
give
know
you a heads up and
where.
then we'll make it up for you.
Okay, cool. So I think I'll just check where I put it up. It's like, what, how are you willing to use your money? Like, really, if you do get that money, what are you going to do with it? Like, Sahil was saying that I'm asking for 2,50,000 or two, what did you say? 250,000 crore, something like that, right? Now, whatever that figure is, what would you like to do with that money? Do you know what you're going to do with that money once you have it in your life? What are you going to do with it?
I just want it to be used for the contribution of mankind.
Okay, cool. So what if you started looking at what does contribution to mankind mean to you? What would you like to do? What are the things that you could do to change people's reality? What if so how many of you think that money has a purpose?
The purpose, what I feel myself, is into, like raising people from certain levels to a different level.
Okay, so that's one. Maybe you could change people's realities where they're poor, you want to give them money and you want to change their realities.
Yeah.
Else? So have you asked the question of what else? What else? What else? Okay, let's say how much money would go into that? You have this 2,50,000. I'm not even giving
25,000 crores.
25,000 crores. So how many crores would go into raising the level of poor people to a level where they can thrive or be happy or whatever you want to do with it? How much money is going to go to that?
No, this entire money will go towards that only.
Entire money, really? Is that really
Yeah.
true?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! See, okay, cool. This is where, guys, we have all of these. I'm sorry, I don't mean to judge what you're saying. Maybe your intentions are very good, but really, you got to start to see and really be brutally honest with yourself when you're asking for a certain amount. What is it that you're going to use it for? What are you asking for? Because here's the thing, guys, we ask for the money. We're not asking for the life that is going to create the money as a byproduct. If we begin to ask for a life, like if you really want to raise the level of poor, are you actually giving them money now? How much are you giving them now?
Well, it will be a different way of working. Like now, whomsoever will be working with us, they will not be working as an employee. They'll be working as a beneficiary and profit sharing. So the entire amount of that money is being, shared into those people and bring them up, and automatically this this adds to the new horizon of their life as well as to the business. Because now that business doesn't only belongs to me; it will belongs to all of them.
No, but have you put it into practice already, or are you
No,
thinking that you will have the
I have already started it and putting into practice.
brilliant? So that is what I'm saying, that if you actually intend to do that, have you started it? Have you
Yes.
put the action steps in place and then look at, hey, what if money didn't have a purpose? It's actually the life that I would like to have. And when I have put this thing into place where whatever money I have now is going into this thing that I would like to create my life with, and then I ask, okay, how can I now exponentialize it? And then start to look at where am I not willing to receive it?
Correct.
Because a lot of time, do you get what I'm saying? is a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
is a very different energy. It's about creating your life, the elements that you would like to have in it. Okay, so this is something that I would like to do with my money. How can I change people's realities? What if the purpose of money was only to change people's realities? And it can be done with whatever little money you have too. So if you have $100 and you're willing to give $10 to somebody who really requires it, or who you think by giving that money you will change their realities, go ahead and do it. You see, and money will show up. So have you heard Dane talk about this thing of he says, I was a little kid, and he grew up in a ghetto, which is one of like, it's like the slums of that place where he was staying in America, I think. And he said, although my grandparents were well off, my father was living with them and I was staying with my mother, and we couldn't afford anything. And it was so bad that something like their toilet broke, and it took them about 6 months to collect the money to get the toilet repaired. And in the meantime, she said we were doing our business in the bucket, literally, and it was that bad, right? So they were that poor. And he said slowly, as I started growing up, I started working in my grandfather's factory. So he was a teenager working in his grandfather's factory whenever he would go there. And he was beaten and abused in that ghetto. So he was doing his best to come out of that life, working, getting daily wages. As a teenager, he was getting something like $35 or something per day, which was daily wages at that time. And he said, I collected a lot of money, right? And I had that money with me, and I went to spend the weekend with my parents and my stepmother. And we went to the beach, and I had all of this money in my bag. And they were like, my stepmother saw the money and she told my dad, children shouldn't have that much money. Let's take it away from him and put it in the bank where we can invest it for him. And he said, she took it away. They never put it in my bank, and they never gave it back to me. So that is the kind of monetary reality he had. And then he said, so once he had probably saved some money from that or whatever, and he had collected this $100 or $10, I don't know, whatever. And he said, I was running to the store to get something he really wanted to buy, some chocolate or some toy that he really wanted. And he said, I turned around the corner, and there was this homeless guy who hadn't eaten, it seemed like, in ages. And he asked me for the money, whatever money he had in his hand. So let's say $10 for a kid, $10. This is I don't can't remember whether it was before the mother took the money away from him or after, but it was that this was the only money he had at that point of time. And he saw this guy, and he was like, this guy needs it more than I do. It's more important for him to eat than me to get my toy, right? And he says, okay, fine, here's the $10. And he gives this homeless guy $10. And he says, now I don't have any money, so I can't get anything for myself. So I turn around and I'm walking back, and I turn another corner, and guess what? There's another $10 lying on the road. And he picks it up, and then he goes to the shop and he gets his toy. And it's like, when you're willing to change people's realities, the universe has your back. And it doesn't mean you go and give your money to the poor. It doesn't mean you go and do charity. It's just this energy of, hey, how can I use my money to change people's realities? And when you actually start to function from that space of, hey, money, I don't need the money, which is what the money workbook talks about. There's no need. It's not that you're going to die if you don't have the money. It's not that something bad is going to happen to you if you don't clear that money. But how often when we ask for some amount of money and we don't get it, we go into judgment of ourselves. Forget about contributing to someone else. So how many of you are living from generosity of your infinite being, of you being the infinite resource or whatever you ask for? And how many of you are living from that penurious, little, shrivelly, limited reality that this reality tells you is your money reality? So either you can live from generosity of spirit, that is you, the infinite being, that I know I can put my money anywhere and it's always going to come back multiplied. That the universe always has my back. And penurious reality is, why should I give you? You did this to me and I have to work hard and I have only this much. See, so where are we living from? And I can't be honest enough to say I'm always living from that space of being generosity of spirit, but I have seen those moments of generosity of spirit. I have seen those moments where I have been able to change people's realities with money, where I haven't gone into lack. And I've also seen those, like how you have those dark nights of the soul kind of spaces where you go into like days of, I don't have enough and what am I going to do, even though you have a lot of money. And again, a lot of and very little are just reference points, right? For someone, 10 million could be very little, and for someone 10,000 could be a lot of money. Again, so if you're operating from reference points, we really cannot be the infinite resource that we are. So how many of you know you are infinite resources, guys, of magic, of miracles, of possibilities? Are you willing to have that reality? That is where we're going to go with the advanced How to Become Money Workbook. So Preeti has her hand raised for a very, very long time. Preeti, would you like to ask a question now?
Yeah, Shweta. Um, yeah, I wanted to ask that, I in the past I had money with ease. Okay, I got money with ease, And what has happened is this has been a pattern. I get money with ease, and a very loved one would make some loss in business, and I'll end up paying my money to because that person doesn't have the money. So I'll end up paying my money, and now there is actually a fear which has come to me that okay, I get money with ease, and at the same time I'll end up paying for somebody for a loss which I have not made, for this person has made, and that person is a loved one. So that's a point of view I've developed now. So like and this has been since, like, this pattern has been since almost 10 years now, like even more than 10 years maybe. No, 10 years, yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, and that has really like there is this, like, oh, this person will do something, it will go nice for a while, and then loss होगा, मुझे भरना पड़ेगा.
You know that that's going to happen, is it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So it had happened in the past, one time, two time. Now there is a point of view, it happened, like, so now I'm wondering, did I create that? Did I create that point of view? Because
Did you?
my,
Did you?
I mean, no, I didn't.
So who gave you that point of view that you created it?
Because access says your point of view creates your reality. So did
Yeah.
I had that point of view? Yeah, seriously.
I'm not saying you have the point of view. I'm asking you. I said, yes, access says that your reality is created by your point of view. That's true. But are you an infinite being?
Yes.
So would an infinite being create a penurious reality? Like
And
Kanju.
that has,
The
and that
penurious
has,
means Kanjus, okay? Like small, shrivelly.
yeah.
Kanjus. You've seen Uncle Scrooge in Donald
No,
Duck? Donald
no.
Duck? So he used to
Don't.
always keep collecting. Have you seen any Kanjus person in your life? Like who has a lot of money but wouldn't spend a dime?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Yes, but you'll find them and go and heal their realities, would you? What are you saying you haven't?
Pardon me, I didn't get that. Please come again.
Okay, let me ask you a question. And it might apply to some of you here too. How many of you are healing other people's monetary realities? Truth.
No, not me.
Not at all. Not you at all. Who is that? I, not you at all. You want to go help all of these people, but are they asking you for your help? Have you done
Yes.
the foundation? Have you done the foundation? Now we're going to get to know who's done the foundation and who hasn't.
Yes. I
What
mean,
does
we
foundation
asked.
say? What does foundation say about help?
This was before, like this, I'm talking,
Now, I was
something
suggesting
happened.
Sahil, but I'm asking you, Preeti, are you truth? And I want a yes or no before you go on with your
Okay.
story. Do you see there's a story there?
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you
Okay.
realize that that's a story? Have you acknowledged that that's a story? Have you ever asked yourself if it's a story that you're telling yourself over and over
Yeah.
again?
Yeah. That is a story. At the same time, that happened. So, I mean, I'm really confused. वो story है कि वो
Yeah.
fact भी तो
So
था.
you keep telling stories to yourself because you want it to happen again, or if you keep telling stories again, that's exactly what's going to happen. So before we go on, I want to ask you, Truth, are you healing other people's monetary realities?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So what's the value of choosing that?
Yeah. Yes.
What? What,
To
yes?
have that person, with me.
All right. And what's the value of never losing anyone who's taking away all your money? What?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
has to be value, right? If you're saying it
Yes.
happens again and again, nothing happens, right? Like you yourself said,
Yes.
you create it. So when you
Yes.
have something like that in your life, are you judging yourself for it? Are you looking at it, observing it, and going, all right, cool. If it's showing up again and again, what do I love about it?
Okay.
What do I love about creating this? The way
Okay.
it is showing up. And
Yeah.
then how can I change this?
Okay.
And destroy and uncreate everywhere you love about create whatever it is, whether you get words for it or not. Maybe if you ask that 20, 30 times, you might get an awareness of what you love about creating it the way it is. But you can get to it only if you're being interesting point of view. If you start to judge yourself for it, or you start to judge others that they constantly keep trying to take your money away, you wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to come to a question. And unless you come to
So the
question,
question, what do I love about?
what do I love about creating this the way it's showing up? Whatever it is,
Okay.
because you're addressing that energy, so you can just go, what do I love about
Yes.
creating this?
Yeah, thank you so much. That has really opened a lot of space.
Yeah,
So
but
after
you know,
coming to
okay,
access,
one second. Can I ask you another question which might contribute
yeah,
to a lot of other people here also? Is like if you are constantly paying off these people, how many people have you paid off? And what does that show about you? If you could see a strength here, what are you the
yeah,
infinite resource for and of that you haven't acknowledged?
yes,
Because if you're constantly paying people, then you're generating it, right?
yes,
But there is something there that does not allow you to have it for yourself.
yes,
I got to look at that. And destroy and create everywhere you're not willing to have it in your life. Okay. And if you join this series, we'll come to a lot of underlying points of view where you begin to see where you're actually abusing yourself. Guys, if you're not willing to receive, then you're abusing yourself. You're abusing your
yes,
body. Your body likes to receive money, okay? Because
yes,
your body likes comfort. Your body likes good food. Your body likes to
yeah,
travel comfortably. It likes to sleep on good mattresses. So if you're not allowing yourself to receive, you're basically abusing your body and your life
yes.
and your future,
Hmm.
right? So, cool. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you so much.
So
That has
welcome.
opened up quite a
Yeah,
space. Thank you.
welcome.
And
So
another
anything else?
question is,
Mhm.
you just mentioned that you don't have to do anything for the money to receive, or to
I didn't say
receive.
that. I asked
Then,
you. You have a point of view that you have to do something. I didn't say you don't have to do anything.
no, no, there was a question earlier. Somebody, there was in the chat, it's there that you don't have to do anything.
The
Is it?
There's
question
some,
was, do you have a point of view that you have to do? It's not, she did
huh,
not make a statement
yes,
that you must
yes,
not do
yes,
something.
yes,
It's
yes,
a
yes,
question.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a, there's a big difference between you don't have to do anything. Yes, you have to. You live in a reality. But are you
Yeah,
doing? Are you taking the action steps from being?
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
So what's your question?
Thank you, Shweta, so much. It was really a contribution. Thank you.
So how many questions are we taking, Sanjeev, and how are we going about this now? Anyone else have any questions? Maybe we could take a couple of questions more.
I think that was amazing, Shweta. Whatever you shared so far, it's been really brilliant. So I think we have time to take two more questions, right? Two more
Let's
questions.
two more questions, guys. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Continue with
So
People.
type out your
can
questions
I
on the
just
chat,
continue
and
with
we
this?
will call out your name.
Shweta, can I just continue our conversation?
Preeti,
Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
who's that? So we'll
Yeah,
let Anuradha go first, and then you
yeah.
can come back to it. Is it in continuation, Preeti, to what you were asking, or can it
Yes,
wait?
yes, it is a
Okay, cool.
continuation.
Okay, cool. Anuradha, we'll
So
just let her.
after this experience, I have come. My reality has become really penurious. I was from a very abundant reality where I would do this contribution to beyond my loved ones also.
Mm-hmm.
And now with this experience, I have really been having this penurious reality. So I oscillate between an abundant. I know because of the access that I've come that there is an abundant universe always willing to give, and then so I'm oscillating between these two realities. So I really would want to bring a
Yeah.
change
So
and
yes, I get what you're saying, but again, the whole thing is that why you're oscillating and what is the point of view there would require a bit of facilitation. So unless you
okay,
have an actual, this is not really a question. It's like a whole facilitation thing. If we can go 15,
oh,
20 minutes on that, or maybe an hour on that.
okay,
But I would really encourage you to come join this series because it will start to show you all the places where I would love to, but I don't think I can take it up right now.
okay,
It's not something that we can cover in like 2 or 3 minutes. So what if you
okay,
started
okay,
asking questions? And do you guys have the Advanced Money Workbook with you? Like if you don't, you can probably just buy it and
okay,
start doing the questions and start looking at, okay, what is the point of view that I have here, right? That does not allow me to choose a greater reality. Because again, guys,
okay,
you have to see that it's a choice you're making, whether to choose penurious or to choose abundant. If you
okay,
can see that there's abundant, but you're constantly going towards penurious, and then you'll allow yourself little moments of receiving, then you know that you're capable of receiving.
yeah,
So now what would it take for me to have more of that?
Okay.
And then whatever points of views that come up is what you have to be constantly present with. Okay, this is what's going on, this is where I'm not willing to choose. And that's exactly why I'm saying that, you know, this is not something that we're just going to do calls with and get done with. We're going to have a Facebook group where I'm going to be coming on and off with your questions. We'll have a WhatsApp group where you can, whatever's popping up, you can keep posting there. We'll be clearing a lot in the call series, and you'll be getting recordings, you'll be getting challenges and home plays along with the questions of the Advanced Money Workbook. And really, it is about beginning to look at where I can have now a different reality than what I was choosing earlier.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
And with this whole Corona thing, that the lockdown thing and everything that has happened, this Access has been doing a lot of track changes, particularly after the last global foundation. And when you do, when you're asking for changing tracks, everything changes. The way you receive money is also changed. But are you looking at how you can receive different now? Are you
Okay.
looking at how you can relax into money rather than struggle for money? We have all struggled for money. We've all done everything that was the right thing to do, that was the good thing to do. But has it worked in a way that we know is possible? And if
Okay.
not, and you still know that, yes, I can receive so much more, I can create so much more, and I can change people's realities with this money,
Hmm.
and yet not make it significant, yet not make time linear.
Yeah.
What can we create? What kind of a future can we together create? Sometimes when we do these track changes and the tools together, it happens quicker, faster, because each one has the other's back. Each one is willing to contribute to the other person. So what can we? Sorry, Sanjeev?
No, that wasn't me. There was some audio
Hello.
from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going
Hello.
to take Anuradha's
Yeah.
question first. We were going to
Yeah.
take Anuradha's question first, please, because she was
Yeah.
the one.
My daughter is going to join this. Hello. Can
Hello.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Anuradha, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter is going to join. And I had one question. You said in the beginning, like you have to become a money yourself, right? What does that mean? And then second question was, which is the number of advanced money book are you going to read with this class of yours, which is going to start on 17th or something?
I didn't get the question. I'm sorry. Can you ask that again?
In the starting, you said you have to become a money.
Yeah.
What does that mean? And
So
second question was, what is the number of अभी आप कौन सा number का book read करेंगे advance money book का? अभी जो class आपका होगा, वो आपका कौन सा number का होगा?
Number in the sense, you mean to say the date? It's starting on 17th of July.
हाँ, 17 जुलाई. But इनका advance money book का कौन सा read होगा, कौन सा number होगा? श्वेता जी का.
read, you mean facilitation?
हाँ, आपका facilitation.
Right. So this is going to be my first advanced how to become money workbook facilitation. That if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And
Okay.
you were asking about the how to become money workbook, something.
Yeah.
What?
You said ki we have to be the money. How I have to be the money? What does that mean?
So have you done the how to become money workbook?
Yeah.
So that book talks that whole workbook is about how to become money.
Yeah, there are different questions, but
Yes.
then also, that's so much of, yeah.
Yes. So if you're still asking me how to become money, then you definitely got to do the how to become money workbook another 10
No, no,
times.
no, no. उसमें ऐसा ना कि आपको खुद को मनी बनना है. आप ऐसा कह रहे थे कि हाँ, आपको खुद को मनी मतलब मनी बनना है, तब आप मनी
तो
खींच
वो
सकोगे.
पूरी किताब जो है उसमें जितने भी सवाल हैं, all the questions in that workbook are about showing you how you can be money rather than try to get money or struggle for money or do something that you think is going to get you the money. Does that make sense? And there are
Yeah,
tools in
that makes.
the workbook. तो उसमें जितने भी tools दिए गए हैं उसमें बहुत सारे tools हैं उस किताब में. I've facilitated that a lot of times. And if you've done that a couple of times, you know that all the tools in that workbook are about you becoming money. Is that the whole workbook is about how to become money. So I wouldn't be able to answer that in a couple of minutes here. If you look at that
हाँ,
workbook again,
okay.
उसको आप दोबारा पढ़ेंगे तो आपको समझ
हाँ,
में आएगा कि कैसे
एक
आप,
ही बार किए पढ़ा है मैंने, तो एक ही बार पढ़ा है।
तो इसीलिए इसी कारण से गैरी ने कहा है कि अगर आप एडवांस मन, क्योंकि आप जो कह रहे हैं ना कि ये किताब ऐसी है कि लोग आसानी से इसे चुनते नहीं हैं, बिकॉज इट इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू ब्रिंग यू अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. And that's exactly my point. Thank you for helping me make that point, Anuradha, is that people don't choose it easily. That's exactly what Gary told me when I asked him, hey, how do I invite people to the how to become the advanced workbook? And he said, you can't. You can't. Because people are not willing to receive. However much we think we would like to have
Yeah.
money, please tonight before you go to sleep and for the next 3-4 days, ask, am I really willing to receive? When something comes to you, when someone gives you a gift, do you receive it? When someone smiles at you, do you receive it?
Yeah.
Or do you immediately go into, oh, मुझे इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा, ये मेरी तरफ क्यों मुस्कुरा रहा है, मैं तो उसको जानती भी नहीं हूँ, ये मुझे गिफ्ट क्यों दे रहा है, मुझे इसके बदले में इसको क्या देना पड़ेगा? And all of these weird points of views of what you have to return, how much of your receiving comes from obligation and debt rather than true receiving. And if you want to see what true receiving is, look at how children receive. If you give them a chocolate, they'll take it. They'll probably ask you for another one. How many of you function from that? Like there is an
Yeah.
instance in the Advanced How to Become Money workbook where Gary talks about a participant says that there was this child who came to one of my classes and she was hosting a class at her place and she had these chocolates in a bag and this little girl comes up to her and she says, I want a lollipop. And this lady who's hosting the class says, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I don't have lollipops. So there are, but I can take you to the basket of chocolates and you can choose the chocolate you want. So she says, okay, cool. And the little girl goes to the basket of chocolates and she tugs at the chocolates and she lifts them up and she moves them and she pulls out one lollipop and she says, look, I have a lollipop. And then she dips in her hand and she pulls out another lollipop. And this woman is zapped. She says, Gary's there. And she says, I can bet on the fact that there were no lollipops in that basket. I don't know where she got them. And that's the level of receiving that children have. So how many of you truly willing to receive, guys? Really? Cool. So thank you, Anuradha, for that question. And
Yeah. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you so
this,
much, Shweta.
this
It's
is,
been awesome. It's been such a wonderful session.
thank you.
And guys, here is the link to Shweta's 12 call series on how to become advanced, how to become money workbook. We are starting on the 17th of July. If you haven't done the basic money workbook, you still have time. So do read the how to become money workbook. And here's the link. Click on the link. You can go to the Access website and you can register today itself, because once you make a choice,
Guys, Sanjeev, can I just say, if you haven't done the money workbook 5 times, guys, please don't come because you won't get it. You will not get it. So if you really want to join in, then make an effort and get to work.
yep,
Do the How to Become Money workbook 5 times. Find a facilitator if you want. Do it yourself. Do it with a friend, but be honest. Because
definitely.
this is a book that is going to make you uncomfortable. Like Dipti saying, we haven't even started yet. But this is going to make you uncomfortable. Who told you that consciousness was going to be comfortable? If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you can't have money. You can't have the money that you're asking for. Okay. So I would highly recommend that if you're really keen on joining us from the 17th, because we're going to be starting the first call is on 17th, right?
Correct.
So we're going
17,
to be
9 p.m., same time as today.
right, brilliant. So we're going to be doing the calls at 9 p.m. in the night. And there are going to be 2 calls per week, Tuesdays and Fridays. And really, you got to have the balls, guys, if you want to join this. Okay. So reach out to Sanjeev or to me. And tomorrow, I'm also going to be doing a live on the 5th challenge, by the way. Sanjeev has put the 5th challenge on the chat here in case you
Yep,
want
it's
to.
also on the screen right now. This
Thank
is
you.
challenge 5 of Shweta Chadda. The group is called Showing Up as You, and over here Shweta posts regular challenges for boosting your financial reality, and you can join.
Awesome. So I will just put the link of the group here in case you guys want to join in for tomorrow's challenge. I'll be talking about this. And yeah, I hope to see you guys somewhere soon. And I really had fun with all of you. Very grateful to each one of you for being here tonight, for asking questions. And that's the Showing Up as You group link. And I hope to see you guys somewhere soon. You guys are courageous, know that, and you are infinite resources to a lot of creation. Just don't let anything stop you. Just don't let anything come in the way of your creating the wealth that you know you can have. So thank you, Sanjeev, for
Thank you.
hosting this amazing Zoom and hosting the call series. I'm so, so grateful. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bye
Sanjeev.
Bye,
bye.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank
Shweta.
you,
Bye bye.
everybody. Bye bye.